Welcome to the Inc. Productivity Tip of the Day. Today's tip: toxicity in the workplace doesn't need to be managed, but replaced with engagement. An expert opinion by Bill Foch, founder of Economic Engagement. A recent Inc. article stopped me in my tracks. It's not just you. This survey says most U.S. workplaces are toxic. That's not just a headline. It's a condemnation. If it's true, Karl Marx would be grinning from the grave. This isn't just an American issue. Globally, employee engagement is falling. Worker dissatisfaction is rising, and toxic cultures are making headlines. The root cause? Believe it or not, it was identified by Marx himself. Employees feel alienated from their work, unsupported by their leaders, and treated more like liabilities than partners. It's a leadership failure, and it's costing companies dearly. However, there's good news. Toxicity is not permanent. In fact, creating a healthy workplace culture may be the most profitable thing you can do. What a toxic workplace looks like today. A new study by Massachusetts-based job seeker site Monster offers troubling insight into the current state of the workplace. 30% of job seekers say workplace confrontation is worse than it was 3 years ago. More than 20% report more mean behavior among coworkers in the past year. 54% believe company culture should evolve, rather than expecting employees to adapt to outdated norms. 55% think personal boundary overreach from managers is inappropriate. 62% say companies should post more niceness reminders. Many respondents couldn't even tell the difference between personality clashes and outright hostility. Also, a rising number of workers are using sick days just to escape their environments, either temporarily or permanently. This is more than a morale problem. It's a business problem. Culture-driven turnover costs U.S. companies billions annually. Toxicity doesn't just hurt companies, it hemorrhages them. For 3 decades, I've worked with companies to improve business results and the lives of employees who drive those results. In my experience, the healthiest and most profitable organizations have one thing in common. They partner with employees to serve customers. When companies make this partnership real, not just lip service, everything changes. Behavior, accountability, creativity, and engagement. Want proof? Let's look at a real-life example. At 1 Week Bath, where I own 30% of the company, our team is remarkably diverse across gender, identity, religion, nationality, and political ideology. However, none of that creates conflict. Why? Because our shared focus is on profitability, serving customers together. Every week, the company holds an all-hands meeting. Employees celebrate 5-star customer reviews, recognize department wins, and forecast and track company-wide progress. When profits increase, bonuses rise, and the whole team sees the connection. Matt, the founder, came up with a peer recognition program that encourages employees to spotlight great work by colleagues. Every month, we read them aloud. Smiles, applause, no toxicity, just team. Recently, Jess, our head of marketing, told us a customer found us by asking ChatGPT, "What's the best bathroom remodeling company in LA?" ChatGPT's answer? 1 Week Bath. The room erupted in cheers because everyone from installers to schedulers knew they had played a role in that moment. A common myth is that cultural transformation takes years. In my experience, it can happen in months if the company gets clear on 2 things. Serving the customer is everyone's job. Improvement is a team sport. We often start with economic engagement diagnostic, which helps leaders understand where they stand and what to do next. However, the formula for change is simple. Involve employees in meaningful work, reward them for shared success, and focus everyone on delivering value. The result? Culture shifts fast. Toxicity fades when employees feel seen, heard, and valued because they are seen, heard, and valued. The shift isn't just for smaller, founder-led businesses. Look at Nucor, America's most successful steel company. For decades, Nucor has outperformed competitors in one of the world's toughest industries. Meanwhile, legacy players like U.S. Steel are in long-term decline, fending off bankruptcy. What is the difference? Nucor has long practiced decentralized decision-making, cross-functional teams, and performance-based pay. Videos and employee testimonials are filled with pride, ownership, and optimism. You don't need to squint to see it. Their employee environment is exceptional, and so is their financial performance. Culture isn't a side dish at Nucor. It's the main course. Unfortunately, companies are increasingly heading in the opposite direction. An MIT Sloan Management Review analysis found that toxic culture was the single best predictor of attrition during the early phase of the Great Resignation. Toxicity in the workplace makes it 10 times more predictive of turnover than compensation. That's not sustainable. You can't save your way to growth, especially when employees are already disengaged. Further, according to the Society for Human Resource Management, toxic workplace culture may have cost U.S. organizations up to $223 billion over 5 years due to turnover and absenteeism. The real solution isn't just niceties, it's shared purpose, shared problem solving, and shared success. When employees feel like partners, they stop looking for the exit. They look for ways to win. Across our work, we found that the companies that score highest on economic engagement, where employees are actively involved in serving customers and improving the business, are also the ones with the healthiest cultures and strongest results. These companies outperformed their peers, not just in profitability, but in employee satisfaction, retention, and growth. It's a consistent pattern. Healthy cultures aren't just nice, they're profitable. So where do you begin? If you're dealing with a toxic workplace or simply want to prevent one, here's where to start. Survey your employees, not on how they feel, but on how connected they are to serving customers with the rest of the company. Define your shared goal. Who is the customer? What do they value? Reward improvement. Implement a profit-sharing or recognition program tied to business outcomes. If you want to accelerate the journey, our economic engagement diagnostic is a proven tool to do exactly that. Toxic workplaces aren't inevitable. They're a reflection of bad management systems. However, here's the truth. Toxicity doesn't need to be managed. It needs to be replaced. Replace it with ownership, purpose, and shared success. You'll build a better culture, a better company, and a better bottom line. That's it from Inc. You can find more expert opinions from today's top business coaches and thought leaders at Inc.com. Come back tomorrow for another tip from Inc.